today. We've got a lot of fun things lined up for you. Now, as you may recall, this is the show where we're shameless and we pay you to watch it. I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, that still doesn't make sense to me yet, but yeah. I'm trying to figure it out.
And we've got some winners. Now, we're going to announce our winners at the end of the show. Now, if you do, and we're going to ask Chris, because I think he's having a little bit more luck with his iPhone than we're having. So if you see somebody that wants to comment on us, you let us know and tell us, Mr. Producer. You can just speak up, because we're not having any luck at all with this laptop over here that Scott's got. So to win stuff, let's just show some of the folks what you can. All you need to do is comment on us. Mm-hmm. Now, Scott, show us what we've got here.
All right, so we got some hats. We got our usual blue, green, and tan. These things are great. I love wearing them all the time, especially around the house in summer.
And then here is a snag mag. And this one, you folks are going to want to know what it's for. It says it's for the model, it's for the Glock 19 23-32 right-hand shooter. So it's a way to carry an extra mag in your jeans pocket. That we're giving away today. We also, you can register, and we'll talk about this later, for the Super Thumb. Now, Scott, this is one of your favorites. We're giving this away today, too. Cool.
Yeah, I want this for myself, but that's okay. We'll spread the love.
Tell our folks what it is.
So you get this is the gun cleaning kit from Prolix. It comes with your lube and your gun cleaner. And this is by far some of the best gun cleaner I've come across yet. This stuff gets all the carbon and everything out of your gun really well. Tried Hoppies and all the other Bore Sullivans and stuff like that for years, and this stuff, you spray it on there, let it sit for a couple minutes, come back, and it wipes right out with a rag. And I know a lot of other ones make those claims too, but they generally don't. You got to let them sit, you got to scrub them a couple times, but this stuff works really well. So this is my favorite. We just got some of this in, and this is what I...
Yeah, he loves it, and a lot of guys use it to clean his weapon. I think he uses it for everything. Around the house, brush your teeth. Yeah, you know what? Scott shoots his gun so often that he needs it to clean off the carbon residue that comes on his teeth.
The carbon smile off my face. Yeah.
Scott, speaking of shooting guns, this is where our show's getting a little tricky here.
Yeah.
So, you and I have been out to the range together. Have you ever really wondered what being a range is all about? Building, and now you're outdoors, that doesn't seem to be too big a deal, but building ranges, there are people that specialize in that.
Yeah.
And to help us make sense of all this, we have with us Jim Barthel from MT2 Technologies. Thanks for being on the show. And Jim, tell us what you guys do.
So our company, MT2 Firing Range Services, is the largest environmental service provider for firing ranges nationwide. We work on both indoor and outdoor ranges. We help build ranges, renovate ranges. We do a lot of maintenance of ranges and working with the owners of ranges to keep them safe, clean up a lot of lead, and those bullets and a shot that you all shoot onto the ground or into the traps, we actually able to reclaim those bullets and lead shot and produce money for the ranges and to share, to put back into the range and operate it. We build indoor ranges, outdoor ranges, and we work all over the country. We're the largest company in the United States that just specializes on firing range services.
Well, one thing I've always wondered when I'm out shooting at the range, on an outdoor range, how do you guys control the lead and the environmental impact?
Yeah, so as you would imagine, on an outdoor firing range, it's really important that the lead remain on the range, right? Assuming we're all good shooters and we never have to worry about, any poor shots, but assuming we're all good shots, we want the lead to stay in the berms. And so what MT2 does is we work with the owners to build either dirt berms or put in steel berms so that the bullets, go into a backstop like they're supposed to. And at the Apopka Police Range, we do a lot of work for law enforcement. We were able to work with them to build up their hill or berm, if you would, so that the bullets stay on the range and that they're readily able to be removed for a recycled basis. So that was for the city of Apopka, Florida, a good client, and that's typical of what we do.
Did you guys, I guess you planted the grass and everything?
Yeah, so what you want to do, especially in a place like Florida, where, as we all know, it does rain a bit, is you want to make sure that the dirt stays up on the berm and that it's not washing down with the bullets. And So we'll put in bullet catchers over the top. We'll put in walls to keep the bullets from going between the different shooting areas, and we'll also seed and put down sod to keep again the heavy rainfall from washing away those berms. You want to keep them. You want to keep the lead in the berm, and you want to keep the berm up.
Underneath, is this some sort of a shale, or what grabs the lead, I guess is what we're talking about?
Well, it's, in that case, it was, an earthen berm, but often, berms will have traps installed in them so that the bullets will go into a steel trap or into a concrete that has rubber on it, and the rubber then collects the berms. I know many of us have been on indoor ranges where you see the backstop is full of granulated rubber, ground up rubber, and that acts as a deacceleration, allows the bullets to then collect and then eventually fall to the bottom of the berm so that they can be reclaimed. That's the big thing about shooting is these ranges fill up with lead, and unfortunately, sometimes that lead has been known to come back at shooters, especially if it's a heavily used range like for law enforcement. But we go in there and we help build the range. We put gran rubber or dirt or help install steel traps, and then we help remove the lead either into buckets, or we have big machines that we pull into these outdoor ranges like at Apopka, and we generate drums of 55-gallon drums of lead. Those 55-gallon drums, weigh upwards of 3,000 pounds apiece. So as you imagine, that's a lot of lead.
And I'm showing our viewers exactly what you're talking about. And the barrel of bullets here, that's impressive. That's a lot of shell casings. So you guys are involved with all that.
Yeah. So we reclaim about 5 million pounds of lead every year. We've reclaimed about 30 million pounds, and since we've been in business, and we work with recyclers, and we try to put those bullets back into use, right? So the bullets, as we know, have lead, but they also have some antimony and other alloys that are added that allow them to do their job. So often these bullets that we're all shooting down range get to be sent back and put back into use.
So the lead itself, this is a dangerous, isn't it, Scott?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. You have to clear this off the range on a regular basis because people get lead poisoning on after it being in the air and hitting the back substrate and everything. So all that has to be cleaned out on a regular basis on every range across the United States. So.
Well, that seems to me a dangerous place to be working, especially as a part-time job, right?
It is. But they have all the proper, biohazard type contamination suits, stuff like that to handle it. But it's an amazing job what these guys are able to do to go in to build these and service them and remove all that. It's a pretty intricate process.
So Jim, I guess what you're talking about is by reclaiming all of this, it makes it a lot safer for the individual shooters, and then at the same time, it takes that lead back into the environment so that people can actually reuse it, and I guess it goes back to gun manufacturers.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. It's kind of like, if you think about it, it's like your car battery, right? Is your car battery full of lead and acid and stuff, and you use it properly, you maintain it, you make sure it's safe, and then when it's done being used, you recycle it so that it can come back again, for a useful purpose. And that's what the gun industry has been doing for years and decades, and that's what we help them do, is make sure we keep the shooter safe, the workers safe, and the environment from being impacted, by these concentrations of lead.
So if anybody wanted to get in this business, they'd talk to you folks. Where would they find your website?
So our website is easy to find, www.mt2.com, marytom2.com. And there's a lot of useful information on our website. As I said, we're a major source of information, including for NRA and NSSF, and a lot of the ranges around the country. So a lot of useful information on lead and how to keep yourself safe and how to protect the environment is on that website, www.mt2.com.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll tell some folks about this. I think we should put it in the comments below this when we finish. so we can direct people directly to you.
That'd be great. We'd appreciate that.
Well, Jim, we'll have you back again, and then we'll tell some more folks about what you guys do.
Thanks, Chris and Scott. Appreciate it.
Just think about all that lead. Every place you go out shooting, they've got to control that, don't they?
Yeah, and they, all of them have to be certified, and they have to go through the reclamation and all that stuff. And it's quite the intricate process. I've witnessed it once before, and it takes a while to get all that taken care of.
Now, I'm wondering if you have your own range out back in the, in your farm or something. Are you required by law to take care of this?
I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure that there would be some type of water issue or something like that if someone shot enough rounds. But I think they even sell a product on there, if I'm not mistaken, that that you can mix in with the soil that will help bind to the contaminants and stuff like that. But I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to speak out of turn, and because I didn't get a chance to read the in-depth report on that part. But they do handle the soil too, and they mix their proprietary compound with it to reclaim that soil.
It's not a trivial matter running a firing range, especially for a profit, because they're really looking out after you. It's also the air handling. I imagine the air handling has got to be significant because that stuff is coming up in the air too, right?
Mm-hmm. All people that work on ranges are usually required to get lead screening once a year or more, depending on the range you're on. There was a time that we had to use an indoor range for a while, and we had to get a screening on a regular basis. So you have to get those. They're checking for lead in the blood because all that stuff turns into those small particulates get into the air, and what looks like a little bit of smoke will actually just be lead particulate that shears off the bullet as it flies through the air, comes out of the barrel, stuff like that, and the explosion of the powder behind the projectile, it actually just turns it into a small enough particulate that becomes airborne, and then you breathe it in, and then you get the lead in your lungs. So all of those ranges have to be set up a certain way so that the air handling is moving the air away from the shooter, so it's pushing the air down range. And that's why you see a lot of this stuff on ranges. You go to an indoor range, it always looks kind of, a little hazy down on the target, or it may look a little like it's smoked, like there's been a lot of smoke downrange or something like that. And that's usually the lead that gets pushed downrange and lands on the targets and the carriages and the walls and stuff.
And all the smoke goes down there, and then it keeps it away from you.
Yeah.
And here's a tip. Someone just told me recently that when you're at the driving range, when you're at the shooting range, and when you finish, wash your hands off.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And that's there's certain things. If you take a water bottle, if you're drinking or eating, no eating in ranges.
Yeah, don't eat in the range
because you get the lead on your hands from just loading, and what gets in the air gets on the fouling that gets on the gun. But then you ingest that if you're eating without washing your hands. But then also, the thing a lot of people don't think about it is your water bottles. You put the top on your water bottle, you're getting the lead from your hand, contaminating the top of the water bottle, and then putting the water bottle in your mouth as well. So a lot of people that work on ranges, stuff like that, they get the pop top type, ones that you just clean out at home and reusable ones. But something that doesn't require you to have to turn the top of the water bottle, you can just hit a button or something and it pops open. But the nozzle that you drink them from is actually covered by the top.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot safer.
Yeah.
And Scott, if you really want to build some proficiency at this, you're going to want to go to the range and get some practice, right?
Yeah, and I not to send everybody looking for wild internet videos or anything, but there was a video that came out just a little while back of a range actually. Just a fire on the range just because there was so much contaminant in the air, and then somebody came out and fired one of those incendiary rounds, fire-breathing dragon's breath or something like that, one of those type of incendiary rounds out of a shotgun, and quite literally lit the air on fire. It is quite the spectacle. But
don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Well, you've got a couple of things laying out here. Just tell our folks. If you've been watching our YouTube channel or the Vimeo channel, or whatever, you've been seeing some pretty cool stuff. I just saw something. We talked about this not too long ago, and this was a lot of fun. Now, you were a little cold out in the rain, but you hung in there, right?
Yeah, so we took out the Bond Arms Derringers, and these are 45 long Colt 410 Derringers. So you're shooting a 410 shotgun cartridge out of these things. And I shot them we shot them most of the day, and I was just, okay, yeah, this is great, you know. And one of the things I did have to admit is the next day I woke up, my hand was just a little tender. I got up and went to the gym the next morning, and I was trying to do some pull-ups or something like that, and I was like, man, what's wrong with my hand? And then somebody reminded me, yeah, you did shoot a one-handed shotgun all day yesterday.
A one-handed, not only one-handed shotgun, but there's what, about an inch and a half of barrel on these things, right?
Yep.
The recoil on this is, well, it's a little bit bigger than coming out of the 410 shotgun.
Yeah, shotgun. You know, you get to put it in your shoulder, and your shoulder gets to absorb some of the recoil. But the recoil wasn't that bad. But it's just, I think it was just the sheer amount, because we did the video and we did the testing and everything, and we shot a lot of different rounds through it. And not only did we test the one, but we were testing 3 guns, and we're testing all the ammos in 3 different guns at all different ranges. So I mean, fired a lot of 410 and a lot of 45 long Colt out of one hand in that day. So.
Well, and I like the way that that video showed the kind of penetration that you can get. We won't waste any more time talking about that, but that was a lot of fun, and this is a beautiful firearm. This, if I'm not mistaken, what do we have over here? You guys were out in the range just the other day shooting this, right?
Yeah, so we went out to the range yesterday, and we had one of our friends join us at the range. Young lady by the name of Cherie. She's part of my group that work with at church and stuff like that. She joined us out on the range, and we did a full review on this TX22. This is a Taurus TX22, and this was the handgun of the year by Guns and Ammo last year. And we've got this one in here, and we were doing some testing with it. And we ran a lot of different rounds through it and put it through its paces, and we got the video out just about 10 minutes ago. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then also, this has been very popular. This is brand new. In fact, this is going to be on the website here. I don't even think we've got the information on there, but you can buy it, right?
Yeah. Yep. So this is the Glock 44, the new 22 long rifle, and I really liked it. I have several Glock compacts, 19 and larger sizes, but it's a great training pistol. So that's really what we're focusing on with our Glock video. So you can get on YouTube and find our review on the Glock as well.
And the funny thing about it is, you were shooting out from different ranges.
Uh-huh.
How far out did you get?
We shot that one at about 150 yards.
150 yards, which I can hardly hit something with my rifle at 150 yards, and you're nailing it all day with this Glock 22. And the nice thing about this, it gets the sort of the same training that you need for the regular Glock, right?
Yep, exactly, and that's the whole purpose of it, to be able to have a pistol that you can take out and you can run inexpensively and get all of your reps in, get your training days in, and it won't break the bank. If you go out and you're running, buying all the parts and everything you need for 9mm or 40 or whatever caliber you purchase that in, it can get quite expensive. So this is a low cost alternative to still be able to get your training.
And then when you get back from the range, I know you like to use this Prolix to clean stuff. Now, Mr. Producer, I don't know if we've got some people commenting on that.
Well, Mike Ratterman just said all those days of grilling at the range at the time.
I know, right? Yeah, Mike's talking about all the range times that all the times
What
we
does he
grill
say
at the
there?
range.
Oh, so you got it.
So it would be a customary thing during the summer. We would take a grill out to the range during our training days, and we would just work through lunch. And Mike is quite the grill master. So
so you should have a little special pepper on there, Mike.
Yeah, thank you.
And Rick Frame, somebody has got to
get the lead out.
Somebody's got to get the lead out. Yeah. Now, if you want to get it out of your, tell us just a little bit how much you love this Prolix. This cleaner, I mean, it does the trick, and it's a lot safer than the other cleaners that are out there.
Yeah, and what I like about it also is when it dries, once it dries, most of it evaporates out. So you put some, it leaves a coating on the gun, but then once most of it evaporates off, you don't have oil getting all over everything. So you wipe it off, and it leaves a dry film lubricant behind, and you don't have oil all over your clothes.
Well, Mike, we want to thank you for commenting, and we'll send this out to you, and we've got some other stuff too. So if you folks are watching this later on, this lives for quite a while on the internet.
Yep.
You can comment on it, and we will also send you some of our gun stuff gears.
Jeff Davis says hi.
Jeff Davis? Hey, Jeff Davis, okay. Have we sent him a hat? Ask him what color hat, or Jeff, you need to tell us what color hat you want, and we'll send it to you. We've got 3 beautiful colors here. And the blue, green. Now, if you already have one of these, we can get you a different color. Let us know, comment, and we'll get you a hat out. Now, I wanted to tell you folks how you don't necessarily have to watch our show now. You can actually register for free gifts. And if you go to gunstuff.tv, Blue. Okay, all right. Blue, this is on your way. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. So if you register at gunstuff.tv/ADCO, you get your name in a hat, and you can win this. And with all these devices, there's about 8 or 9 of them in here. It's going to fit whatever round you need to load up, whether it's a handgun, and that can be. I heard you talking about on that 22.
Yeah.
Your thumb was getting tired, is because you were just shooting so daggone many rounds, right?
Yeah, trying to load that thing and just keep pumping those in there. That would have been. We have some. We have.
I can't believe you didn't.
I know.
We
have these a box of these to give away in here, and we keep forgetting to take them to the range with us when we're out testing all these guns, and we're because we don't want to break up a set.
Yeah, it's crazy. So this week's winner, Rick Frame. Rick, you were just commenting, and you also registered in advance earlier today for the Gun Stuff ADCO, so we're going to be sending out one of these kits to you. You're going to be able to make good use of it, I'm sure. Well, this has been a lot of fun. We're learning the technology, and we want you to share it. We have more gifts and more free giveaways coming up to you. And just remember, get your stuff from Gun Stuff.